Back to reality, back to life.
Stop scrolling because you remember these songs, but you forgot the bands. These were pop bands from 1989 that had real hits, real fans, and real radio play, then suddenly vanished. And here's the crazy part, one band on this list should have been huge, but pop music changed overnight and left them behind.
Every single day she sings, everything is free.
Picture you and me in 1989, cassette tapes, MTV on all day, radios loud, and pop songs everywhere. If you miss these bands, you'll think late 80s pop was just the big names, and that's only half the story.
So much for your promises, they died the day you.
So let's count it down from 10 to 1. And by the end, you'll be saying, how did we ever forget them? These bands were active around 1988 and 1991, had real chart action, label backing, MTV rotation, and then disappeared when pop shifted in the early 90s. Number 10, Living in a Box. Living in a Box. This song feels like rush hour life in 1989. Fast walking, loud thoughts, tight spaces. Picture you on a city bus or in a small apartment, radio on, thinking about bills, dreams, and trying to breathe. The beat is bouncy and fun, but the message is real life pressure. Living in a Box, dropped in 1987 on Chrysalis Records, written by Richard Derbyshire, Marcus Vere, and Anthony Teach Critchlow, and produced by Mark Tiley. The song talks about feeling trapped, working, paying bills, living the same day again and again, like life put you in a small box.
Am I living in a cardboard box? Am I living in a box?
It hit number 5 on the UK singles chart and became a big radio and TV song across Europe, staying popular right into 1989. Even though it sounded fun, it was sneaky smart pop, happy music with serious words. Fun fact, Richard Derbyshire had one of those voices people remembered instantly, smooth, high, and emotional. So when the song played, you knew it was them in seconds. Also, a lot of people danced to this song without realizing it was about being stressed and boxed in. Why? It's forgotten, underrated, because people treated it like a novelty hit instead of listening to the words. And when pop started changing fast at the end of the 80s, thoughtful, message-driven pop didn't get pushed as hard. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember when I said timing and labels can decide everything? This is one of those stories. Some people say Living in a Box got boxed in by their own hit. The song was so big and so specific that the label kept pushing the band to repeat the same sound instead of letting them grow. In interviews and music history write-ups, it's been said the industry wanted another Living in a Box, not a full creative band. That kind of pressure can stall momentum fast. There are different versions of the story, but the result was clear. The band never fully escaped the shadow of their own hit, even though they had more music to offer. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because now we're leaving the streets and heading into number 9, where harmony, soul, and old school love take over the room. Number 9, the Pasadenas, Riding on a Train. This song feels like Sunday afternoon soul. Clean shoes, sharp suits, and voices stacked so smooth they feel like silk. Picture a London night bus or a small dance floor where couples are close, lights low, and harmony is doing all the talking. It's pop, but with old school soul manners, respectful, warm, and full of feeling. Riding on a Train came out in 1988, right before 1989 really kicked the door open for them on CBS Records. The song is about love moving forward, leaving pain behind, and trusting the journey. Simple words, big heart. The Pasadenas were known for tight harmonies, inspired by classic American soul groups like the Temptations and the Four Tops, but filtered through a clean late 80s UK pop sound. On the charts, Riding on a Train hit the UK Top 20, and it became a radio favorite and a go-to record for soul pop fans in Britain. Fun fact, the Pasadenas started as a street harmony group, singing a cappella before getting signed. You can hear that in their records. Those voices don't sound built in a studio. They sound like people who learned to sing together in real life. Why it's forgotten, underrated, because they came right before a big change. As the 1990s arrived, pop started leaning harder into dance beats and new styles, and harmony-driven soul pop didn't get pushed the same way. They weren't bad, they weren't late, they were just caught in between eras. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember when I said timing can quietly kill a great band? This is one of those stories. Some people say the Pasadenas never fully crossed over because labels didn't know how to market a black British harmony group in the late 80s without boxing them in. In interviews over the years, it's been hinted that they were sometimes pushed as retro, even though their music was modern for its time. That kind of thinking matters, because once a label decides your image is old-fashioned, promotion slows down, budgets shrink, and radio moves on. The result? Great songs stayed popular with fans but didn't get the long-term push they deserved. That's why this tune isn't just music. It's history. Keep listening, because the next band takes us into a brighter, flashier pop moment, but the heartbreak hits just as hard. Number 8, New Shooz, I Can't Wait. This song feels like roller skates on shiny floors and bright city lights at night. Picture a late 80s club or a car ride with the radio loud, clean drums, rubbery bass, and a smile you can't hide. It's happy, bouncy pop that makes your feet move before your brain catches up. I Can't Wait came out in 1986, but it owned 1989 radio because DJs kept it alive. It was written by Valerie Day and John Smith, the duo behind New Shooz, and released on Atlantic Records. The lyrics are simple everyday love, waiting on someone and feeling excited. Nothing fancy, just real. On the charts, it went top 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, hit number 1 on the dance chart, and became a staple on pop and R&B radio. That mix, pop, funk, and dance, made it cross every room. Fun fact, the song didn't blows. It blew up because club DJs remixed it first. Radio followed after the dance floor decided. That's why it sounds like it was built for movement from the start. Why it's forgotten, underrated. New Shooz got boxed in as just a dance act, even though they were strong songwriters. When pop shifted in the late 80s and early 90s, Labels chased new sounds and didn't know where to place funk pop anymore.
'Cause I can't wait.
Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember how I hinted the story wasn't simple? Here it is. Some people say the DJs made I Can't Wait, not the band, because the remix broke it first. In interviews, it's been said that club versions pushed the song so hard that radio had to catch up. Great for the song, but it changed how the industry saw new Shooz. Labels leaned into the dance angle and didn't fully support the band as long-term pop artists, which slowed their momentum. That decision helped the song go huge, but hurt the group's future. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because the next band goes smoother and sweeter, and their song hits you right in the heart instead of the feet. Number 7, Climie Fisher, Love Changes, Everything. This song feels like clean suits, soft lights, and grown-up feelings. Picture late 80s radio playing low while you're thinking about someone who changed your whole life. Good or bad, it's pop that doesn't shout. It talks straight to your heart. Love Changes, Everything was written by Simon Climie and Rob Fisher and produced by hitmaker Stephen Hague, the same guy behind a lot of smooth, smart 80s pop. It first came out in 1987 on EMI, but after being re-released, it exploded in 1988, climbing to number 2 on the UK singles chart and breaking into the US Billboard Hot 100, Top 25. The song is about one simple truth. Love flips your world upside down, whether you're ready or not. No big drama words, just everyday life feelings, which is why people believed it. On radio, this song lived in that sweet spot between pop and adult contemporary, where it stayed for years. Fun fact, this song didn't become a hit right away. It needed a second chance. Once radio really caught it, the record took off fast, proving that sometimes a song just needs the right moment to shine. Why it's forgotten, underrated, because Climie Fisher were too polished for the rougher pop sound that was coming next. When the late 80s ended, the industry wanted new looks and louder energy, and classy pop like this got pushed aside. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I hinted that timing can make or break a band? This is that story. When Love Changes, Everything first dropped, it didn't smash instantly. Some people say the label didn't fully push it the first time. Others say radio just wasn't ready yet. What we do know is this: EMI re-released the song, gave it stronger promotion, and suddenly it connected everywhere. UK, Europe, then the US. That re-release helped the song, but it also locked the band into one massive moment. After that, expectations were sky high, and when the next records didn't match that level, the industry moved on fast. That's why this tune isn't just music. It's history about how labels, timing, and trends decide who stays and who fades. Keep listening, because the next band didn't just make people feel emotional. They made the whole world stop and sing along.
To life, back to reality, back to the here.
Number 6, Soul to Soul. Back to life? However do you want me? This song feels like night air and fresh confidence. Picture a London street in 1989, neon lights, clean outfits, people walking with purpose, bass floating out of a club door. It's smooth, calm, and cool. Music that makes you feel like you finally figured yourself out. Back to Life dropped in 1989 on Virgin Records, led by Jazzy B and sung by Karen Wheeler, with production from the Soul to Soul Collective. The song is about self-respect and independence, basically saying, treat me right or I walk. It went #1 in the UK, #4 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and #1 on the US R&B chart, which was huge for a British group with a black soulful sound. This song didn't just chart, it helped introduce the world to a new vibe called British soul, mixing reggae bass, R&B feeling, and dance music polish. Fun fact, Soul 2. Soul started as a sound system and fashion movement, not just a band. Their look, big hats, clean fits, African pride, was just as important as the music. When Back to Life hit, it felt like the whole culture stepped onto the world stage at once. Why it's forgotten, underrated. Because people remember the song, but forget the band era, the full crew, the movement, the moment. As the 90s went on, Soul to Soul became known more as a name or brand, not a tight band unit. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I hinted that the music business can get tricky? This is one of those stories. Some people say Karen Wheeler's voice was a huge reason Soul to Soul crossed over so fast, and many fans felt she didn't always get the spotlight she deserved. In interviews over the years, it's been said there were creative and business tensions, especially about who the face of Soul to Soul really was, the singer or the collective led by Jazzy B. There are different versions of the story, but what's clear is this. After Karen Wheeler left, the group's mainstream success never hit the same level again. The music stayed good, but the magic moment passed. That tension changed how people remember Soul to Soul. Instead of seeing them as a band that changed pop history, they get remembered as that one song. And that's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because #5 is softer, sadder, and proves that sometimes one quiet song can break hearts all over the world.
Please don't apologize, just let me wipe the tears away.
#5, Waterfront, Cry. This song feels like standing still while your feelings run wild. Picture a late night drive, street lights flashing past, radio low, and your chest feeling heavy but calm at the same time. Cry doesn't shout. It sits with you like a quiet friend who knows you're hurting but doesn't rush you.
Please don't cry.
Cry came out in 1989, released on Polydor Records, produced by John Coxon during a moment when pop was getting emotional and polished. The lyrics are simple and honest, about letting your guard down, admitting pain, and not being ashamed to feel.
I know you're just 16.
The song became a top 10 hit in the UK, peaking at #4, and also broke into the US Billboard Hot 100, which was not easy for a soft, emotional pop band at that time. It got heavy radio rotation, especially late at night, and became one of those songs DJs played when they wanted the room to feel something. Even today, Cry pops up in nostalgic playlists, movies, and TV moments because that emotion never gets old. Fun fact, many people thought Waterfront was American because the song sounded so polished, but they were actually from Scotland. That surprise alone tells you how big and international the sound of Cry really was. Why it's forgotten? Underrated, because they were caught in the middle of a change. By 1990, pop was moving toward louder styles and new trends, and quiet, emotional bands like Waterfront didn't fit the new box labels wanted to sell. They didn't crash, they just slowly faded, which is the saddest kind of disappearing. Real heads keep this one like a secret key.
Please don't cry.
Remember when I said some bands didn't fail, they got left behind? Waterfront is a perfect example. Some people say Polydor didn't know how to market a band whose biggest strength was emotion, not image. In interviews and industry talk, it's been said that after Cry, the label focus shifted fast, and the band didn't get the long-term push needed to grow beyond that one massive hit. There are different versions of the story, but the result was the same. Less promotion, fewer chances, and momentum gone just as pop entered a new decade. That's how Cry became a cult classic. Not overplayed, not burned out.
In all of 21.
Just quietly powerful. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because the next band on this list had a song so big, people remember the song, but forgot the band.
Deadbeats living in a back street, north, east, west, south, all in the same.
Number 4, The Escape Club, Wild Wild West. This song feels like danger with a smile. Picture bright MTV lights, leather jackets, and that bouncing beat that makes you move before you even think. It sounds fun on the surface, but underneath, it's restless, like something isn't right and everybody can feel it.
Ronnie's got a new gun, she's so mean, I don't care.
Wild Wild West dropped in 1988 on Atlantic Records, written by Trevor Horn, John Holliday, Milan Zekovica, and Dave Brown, and produced by Chris Kimsey. The lyrics aren't just party talk, they're about political tension, fear, and chaos, inspired by life in the UK during the late Thatcher era.
The Wild Wild West.
Here's the crazy part. The song went all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, making the Escape Club one of the few British bands of that time to pull that off. In the UK though, it barely made noise, showing how America heard a hit while Britain heard a protest.
Got a new gun, she's so lit it up, Ronnie mean,
Fun fact, most American fans thought Wild Wild West was just a fun dance song, but the band has said it was actually angry and political. Same beat, totally different meaning. That's pop music trickery at its finest.
Wild West.
Why it's forgotten or underrated? Because the song became bigger than the band. Once it hit number 1, people locked it in as a party hit and ignored the message. And when pop shifted again, the Escape Club didn't fit the new wave. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I said some pop hits hide real stories? This is one of them. Some people say Wild Wild West succeeded because Americans didn't catch the politics. In interviews, the band has explained the song was meant as a criticism of fear, control, and society falling apart, not a celebration. There are different versions of the story, but the result was the same.
Wild West.
Radio and MTV pushed it as a fun anthem, while the deeper meaning got lost. That misunderstanding helped the song go number 1, but it also boxed the band in, turning them into that one fun hit instead of a serious group with something to say. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because the next band had a hit that still sneaks into movies and playlists like it never aged at all.
Don't look to a stranger.
Number 3, When in Rome, The Promise. This song feels like late night honesty, when the room is quiet and you finally say what you've been holding in. Picture a slow drive, dashboard lights glowing, radio low, but this song still cuts through. It's soft, emotional pop, the kind that makes you stare out the window and think about someone you miss. The Promise came out in 1988, but it really lived in 1989 when pop radio and MTV kept it heavy in rotation.
Know what to do. Gonna always be.
It was released on Virgin Records, written and produced by the band, Andrew Mann, Michael Floriel, and Clive Farrington. The lyrics are simple but powerful. It's about keeping your word, about love that doesn't give up even when things get hard. On the charts, the song reached number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, which is huge for a soft, emotional pop track with no gimmicks.
No cross too bad. I'm sorry, but
Over time, it became a cult classic, still used in movies, TV shows, and commercials decades later.
the way I planned them to be. But if you wait around a while, I'll make you fall.
Fun fact, a lot of people think The Promise is an American song, but When in Rome were actually from the UK. The song ended up becoming bigger in the US than at home, which already tells you the story was a little uneven. Why it's forgotten, underrated, because the song became bigger than the band. Once pop radio labeled them the Promise Group, everything else they did got ignored. Real heads keep this one like a secret key because they know the band wasn't weak. The system just moved on too fast. Remember when I said earlier that one band on this list had a song so big it almost hurt them?
And so is your temple. You know what to do.
This is that band. Here's where it gets tricky. After The Promise blew up, When in Rome broke apart, and over time, there were different versions of the band touring under the same name. Some people say it was about rights and ownership. In interviews, it's been said that only one original member continued performing, while others disagreed on who should legally use the band name. There are different versions of the story, but the result was clear. Confusion, less label support, and no clean follow-up moment while the song was still hot. That confusion didn't kill the song, but it froze the band's legacy. Instead of growing, they became tied to one perfect record. And that's why The Promise didn't just become a hit, it became a timeless ghost, floating through movies, playlists, and memories. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because the next band didn't just get forgotten, they were one chart move away from becoming pop royalty.
Eine tolle Popnummer.
Being here is heavenly.
Number 2, Danny Wilson, Mary's Prayer. This song feels like early morning light through the window, calm, soft, and hopeful. Like you're walking alone with headphones on thinking about life, love, and where you're going next. It's pop music that doesn't shout. It talks gently to you. Mary's Prayer came out in 1987.
Such a big mistake when I was Mary's prayer.
Written by Gary Clark and released on Virgin Records, produced by Lenny Waronker. The song talks about hope, faith, and holding on. Not in a church way, but in a real life way, like when you're young and unsure, but still dreaming. In the US,
I made such a big mistake when I was married.
It reached number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a huge adult contemporary favorite, getting played over and over on radio. Over time, it became a cult classic, popping up in movies, TV shows, and playlists long after the band faded. Fun fact, Danny Wilson was named after a Frank Sinatra song, and the band leaned more toward jazz, soul, and smart pop instead of chasing loud hits. That's why their music sounds grown up even today. Why it's forgotten or underrated. Danny Wilson didn't fit the late 80s pop image game. No flashy dance moves, no wild fashion, just good songs and real feeling. When pop music turned louder and faster going into the 90s, quiet bands like this got pushed aside. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I hinted that some great bands didn't disappear because of bad music? Danny Wilson is a perfect example. Some people say the band clashed with the music industry's direction. Labels wanted bigger hooks, bigger looks, faster hits, while Danny Wilson wanted songwriting and soul. In interviews, it's been said the band didn't want to be reshaped into something they weren't, and that slowed their push. That choice cost them mainstream spotlight. But it also kept their music honest. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Keep listening, because the next band had a song so big, it still plays today, even though most people forgot who made it. Number 1, Johnny Hates Jazz, Shattered Dreams. This song feels like quiet heartbreak, not loud crying, but that deep, heavy feeling when you realize something you loved is gone. Picture late night radio, lights off, cassette spinning, and you just staring at the ceiling. No shouting, no drama, just truth in a soft voice that hits hard. Shattered Dreams came out in 1987, but it was still everywhere by 1988 to 1989, especially on pop and adult radio. The band was led by Clark Datchler, who wrote the song, and it was released on Virgin Records. The lyrics are about betrayal and disappointment, that moment when someone you trusted let you down.
It was just too late to know. I thought.
And there's nothing left to say. The song became a global hit, reaching top 5 in the UK and top 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100, making Johnny Hates Jazz one of the most polished pop acts of that era.
I thought it was you.
Fun fact, many people think Johnny Hates Jazz was a studio project, but they were a real band that actually cared about songwriting and musicianship. Clark Datchler later walked away from the spotlight because he didn't like how the music industry was pushing image over feeling.
I dreamt the impossible, but maybe things could work out.
Why it's forgotten, too underrated. Johnny Hates Jazz came out just before pop changed fast. By the early 90s, music got louder, rougher, and more aggressive.
I thought it was you. You said they died.
Their sound was soft, emotional, and grown, and the industry suddenly decided that style was old. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. And now that you know who really sold the most in the 90s, go back through the list again, because every name before this tells part of the same story.